Racial profiling. And it comes not so much from law enforcement, but people with power.
Sadly, it's still the racism that comes when you walk. Sometimes when you walk in stores and stuff, you get like the extra looks and check your bags and stuff like that.
The crime rate have gone up a lot because of the immigration.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I go by the name Manstivo, and today I'm in Sweden, specifically the capital city of Stockholm, to ask residents what's the worst part about living in Sweden and also their worst experiences so far. This episode is a sequel to the best part and best experience about living in Sweden. If you haven't watched that video, kindly go on my YouTube channel and watch that before coming to this. So without much ado, let's get started. Hello sis.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Nenna. I live in Stockholm, Sweden.
How long have you been here?
About 12 years plus.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Fatijuk.
How long have you lived in Sweden?
Oh, almost 30.
30 years.
Almost, yeah.
Wow. Where are you from?
I'm from the Gambia.
Gambia?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Kiri, and I'm a resident in Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay. Where are you from?
Originally from Uganda, but I was born and raised here in Stockholm, and I've been living all around Sweden.
My name is Kelvin. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Sierra Leone, and I've lived here in Sweden for probably around 20 years.
Hi, my name is Murad. I'm from next to Gothenburg. I'm 25 years old.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Ethiopia. I was born there, and then I moved here when I was very young.
My name is Sarut.
How long have you lived in Sweden?
I arrived here when I was 7 years old from Thailand.
From Thailand?
Yeah,
okay.
So I've been here for a while.
My name is Chris, and I'm from England.
England?
Yes.
How long have you lived in Sweden?
I've lived here like most of my life, maybe like 15, 17 years now.
My name is Dieu Merci. I'm Congolese and I live in Sweden. I've been living here for 18 years.
My name is Pekam Zoro. I'm living in Sweden 3 years. I'm working like model and acting. Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire.
Oh, okay.
Tite Drogba.
My name is Bakari, originally from Gambia, living in Sweden.
How long have you lived in Sweden?
I've been living here since 2008.
What would you say is the worst part about living in Sweden?
Number one, I think you need to do something about the language, which doesn't come very easily because there are some very specific or special letters or consonants that you have to know. But beyond that, as welcoming as they are, sometimes if you're someone that really wants to climb to the highest height of it all, let's say in your career, it's a little bit, the higher you go, the more you realize that it's actually closed. So if you're not from here, you may not be able to climb up if you're in an organization to get to that managerial position or something. So you need to do more. And even when you're accepted there, and I tell you this from experience, so even when you're accepted there, it's always like, you're not good enough. So you just need to keep striving. But it's not as open for those who aspire to really go up, as I would say, okay, some parts of Europe like the UK or maybe other parts of the world like the United States or Canada, those places, as a person of color, you can aspire and become who you want to be. Here, it is difficult to climb. You can, but it's quite difficult.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think the worst part is that we tend to be not as open as a lot of places. Like if I go to Uganda or travel abroad, like a lot of people in Sweden tend to be closed off unless you know them, and it's difficult to get to know them unless you know them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like never-ending struggle. So people won't be as open if you don't know them, but it's difficult to get to know someone if they're not open.
Okay.
But Swedes take time, but once they get to know you, they invite you for fika, and you have a good time with them.
Nice.
I don't know if Sweden can do so much about it, but it's about the weather, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, the weather. Sometimes, most people would maybe like to live in Zanzibar where it's sun and all that, but it's limited with the sun, so maybe that's the challenge.
Well, the worst part is probably when it comes to the gang and the violence we have here, the crime rates here in Sweden, and that's the effect of the multicultural that is being affected here in Sweden with the regulation of the people that control the Swedish law, and that's when it comes to the immigration law and systems and so on. But yeah, I would say the crime rate have gone up a lot because of the immigration, how the process is right now here in Sweden. So that makes some places here in Stockholm become a bit risky to live at. Wow. Like example, places outside of the skirt of the central town, where there's a very high rate of criminality.
Worst part about living in Sweden, besides the racism, I would say during the winter it's very cold. It's no sunlight, and I like sunlight. And yeah, that's all I can think of on top of my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The worst part I have to say is it's not as social, you know, as other countries. So when it comes to like interacting with people, it could be hard because a lot of people have this mentality that they don't want to make new friends. So I would say that's like the worst experience or like the worst part. It's hard to make friends and contact with other people unless you know Swedish or unless you know someone that knows someone, you know.
It costs a lot to travel, like with bus or the train or something like that. While flying, it's a lot cheaper sometimes. Yeah, especially like to other countries.
Okay.
If you go by train, like just here in Sweden, through all the cities, like it costs more than fly out to other countries in Europe. Yeah, that's the worst part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The weather is horrible. Yeah, and having a raincoat, it's windy, but I'm telling you, it's gonna rain, bro. It's gonna rain, I'll promise you. Yeah, that's the worst part.
The worst part? Me, I like communication. Man, when I come in Sweden, first, so cold. People are so little bit distance. They so difficult to me. Why I meet people, why I can talk to people, it was so difficult to me.
Worst, you know, sometimes you can take the worst part and make a good use of it. But I feel like the worst part could, for many people, it could be the cold and the dark. You know, it's a long winter, the country is very, very cold, and then it makes people also to be cold. They are not as open as other places, so that could be the worst. But you can make good out of it, you know. Because it's cold and dark doesn't mean that you have to stuck yourself into your tiny apartment that I'm living in, you know. You gotta, you know, active yourself and try to fit into the society, you know. Yeah.
What has been your worst experience so far?
I don't think I've had something that is terribly wrong, but I remember that when I came newly and I was out with an elderly woman, and you know, I had my bag, my backpack, and we had just walked into a shop, and for some reason, the bell, you know, the security thing starts them making noise, like as if you took something, and again, because you're a person of color, everybody turns, and it was quite embarrassing because we didn't even buy a thing, we didn't look how, you know, and even the woman I was with now started like she didn't even trust me. But I mean, it's one of those things. But I don't think so far. I mean, that's just like something minor. And I would say so far it's been so good. I must say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
The worst experience, I think, racial profiling, and it comes not so much from law enforcement, but people with power. So maybe people in stores or even some teachers, and also like going to the metro and subways and people looking at me like, hey, you look like you don't have a ticket, but I don't know how that person looks like, you know. Yeah. And also people being not knowing about different stuff, so they can be ignorant towards you, and when you call them out on it, they don't even know that what they're saying is maybe racist, but it's racist. So I try to explain to people you can say something that's racist without being racist, and that usually opens up for conversation and me to actually educating people.
My worst experience is that sometimes I think that it's good also if we can include more people to the workforce so that we give more people chance. I think that would be great. That's something that Sweden are good at, but we can always include more people to the workplace. I think that's unemployment are it's kind of high. So I maybe open up more doors for them. That's what I would think. They are doing it, but it could work on it better. Yeah.